I really do just write about what I'm thinking about, literally just like a dialogue with myself. I'm not completely schizophrenic, so there's some consistency, to my thought processes, and they generally revolve around love, life, war, and politics, and etc. Issues that I hope are somewhat universal. I've been playing with our drummer Chris for 10 years, and we know each other very well musically, and I write knowing that we're going to be working the song out together, and the same goes for everybody else. There are times when I'll come in with a finished product, but even that evolves once we start playing it, and I think that's one of the great things, about playing with people for such a long time. We've had a bunch of the songs that wound up on the record for a while and started recording a record the year before, but it just wasn't coming together right, and then our label Touch and Go unfortunately fell apart, and we just kind of lived and kept playing shows and stopped worrying about things, got off the hamster wheel, which I think was really good, because when we did feel like we were ready to go back into the studio, we weren't working with Matador yet at that point, but it was just like, you know what, I think it's time to go back in the studio and record this stuff. And I expected it to be a downer of a record, and it winds up being a much more like energizing record to me than I thought it was going to be, honestly. So. But if there is one way in which I think it differs from the last record, which was recorded under the Bush administration, it's that over the course of the previous year, the campaign year really, not to say that I've receded from politics at all, because I don't think I have, but I just kind of got sick about being so depressed about it. I got sick of bashing my head, against my own wall. Governments exist to, manage large groups of people. At the end of every bit of policy, there's a flesh and blood, result. And there will never be a shortage of things to get outraged about, and sing about. I don't really trust any politicians, so.
When the cafe doors exploded, I reacted.
Before this one song called My Violin, that was from the first record we did with Lookout, I used to say from stage, this is about what it's like growing up in America. And we were traveling in Germany for a while, and there was this guy came up to me and he said, "You know that thing that you say before you play that song every show for the last 5 shows or whatever, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. He was actually like, "You don't need to say that, we understand, You are here playing this show, and we are here because we appreciate what you do," and it was just one of those like epiphanies where you're like, oh yeah, I'm among friends.